Hello and welcome back to Sprite Guard plays Starseed Pilgrim. I found an interesting resource when I was looking at the blog of Draken, the person who created this, basically talking about the deeper strategy of this game. There's a site called Starbound Observatory, I think. I will link it in the description because my memory is not the best right now. But basically, it talked about the uses and values of the different seeds, and confirmed some things that I had more or less figured out, and also revealed some stuff. I would recommend not going to the site if you care at all about spoilers. There are lots of spoilers, and it will tell you a lot of things about the game that you might not know. Even it told me things that I didn't know. So one thing it told me is that this stuff that I'm walking on is actually what the void moves fastest through, not the red. So that was something that I had been figuring out. I was kind of on the cusp of figuring that out, but hadn't quite yet. And this stuff is not the slowest, but it is one of the slowest. So it is useful for blocking the progress of the void. And I don't really want it to come this far over, but it's a very useful way of slowing things down. And it has all sorts of analysis of how the void moves and the strategies that you can use, and so I'm going to try and put some of that into practice. Some of it is going to be stuff that I can only get from experience, but having that extra little bit of information is very helpful. Like, one thing I learned from it is that you can tell on the different levels how your guy is going to behave, because that's not actually where I wanted to build that. So that's one thing I learned, is that you can get rid of the red blocks that way. And now I want to be a little bit careful here, because I want to be able to jump up and get these seeds that I'm going to grow here. So I've been learning a lot from this site, and I want to put it into... Oh, so what I was saying is, on each level, the color of the Starseed Pilgrim guy here will tell you what abilities you have, and they have a whole chart of what all of the different abilities were, and there are plenty of them that I have not yet discovered, so there is still a lot of this game that I have not seen. Now, this stuff is most useful for slowing down those orange ones, because they're not the slowest, but they're pretty slow, and so that's a way of making the void travel a little bit less fast. And the slowest one is actually the stuff on the right there, the ones that I call the box-growing ones. So, armed with that information, I think what I'm going to do is wait for this to grow in, and then I am going to plant this red one, and then actually dig the tile out from under it, and that way I won't have to worry about it. So now we have a random one, and I don't want to dig out any more of these because they are the slowest ones, so I'll just put it there. And that's not especially useful, but what it will do is it will allow us to drop down here, and now we have a really good chance of connecting up with that key. And the pink ones are actually what the darkness moves through the most quickly, so I might not be able to actually harvest those ones down there. So this is one case where I actually want to set off a red one, because I want to just launch myself a bit ahead of the darkness so that I can start moving up this way, and my hope is that I can find my way to a door. So this is not a great place to start growing seeds, and I'm not really well equipped to do much here other than just wait. And this is not a great place to wait because these are the two materials that the darkness moves through the fastest. Now, if I harvest this right away, I might not get another seed to start an engine, and I actually want to use this to continue growing, because I can't place like in like, and so as this is growing, I'm going to also plant something in it. Now, I hope that will go right, and it did, so that is helpful, but now we're out of seeds and we're running out of time as well. So I will harvest these 3 as quickly as I can and jump up here, and we did get another one. So we have a chance of restarting our engine, but it's not a good chance because it relies on some things happening in ways that they're unlikely to happen. And see there, that exploding one didn't go off, it didn't grow in time, and so it just got swallowed by the darkness. And now this one is going to be a random one, and will it grow in before the darkness arrives? Well, it looks like it has, so let's see if we can get to a key this way. I'm going to stand here and just drop straight down into the darkness, which is going to require waiting for it a little bit. But the reason I want to stand here and wait for the darkness to catch up to me is so that I don't have to do any jumping to get these 2. There's no uncertainty that I'll get these 2 seeds. And that way I will know that I'll have them, and I can go and look for a key. I believe we've connected up with 1 or 2 keys. And there we go, straight down there. So there's a key that is very easy to get. And so I will grab that, and we'll be able to at least get back to the overworld with a lot of seeds. So this was not a successful expedition in that we didn't make it to a door, but I've started to put into practice some of the stuff that I learned from reading this site. And I also know now that there are more levels to find. Now, I'm trying to remember, because I actually edited these videos a while ago, and I'm not remembering where it was that I found a level and I was working towards it. I think it was over this way. I was trying to find my way up to something. Yeah, there it is. And I think I did confirm that that's not something that I've been to yet. So let's try to build our way up to it. Building up is pretty difficult, but we have some stuff that we can use. This will grow, its first step will be up, and then we can see where it goes from there, and make sure that we have a path back to the top. So, okay, there's some blocks already there. We have been here. I think we reached it from a different... I thought we got to this one from the left. Does that mean that it wraps around? Is that what we've done? That's really interesting. Yeah, we've already been here, but from the other side. So I'm going to make sure that we have a way back up here in case we fall off. And now I am going to place this jump pad here and see if I can get up there. And continue on to the right and see if it loops around like that. That is really interesting. You know, I had talked in previous episodes about the possibility that it wrapped around, but I didn't actually really entertain that as a serious idea. I thought that much more likely we would either reach an edge, or we would... Oh, I didn't mean to trigger that, but I did. Or we would just continue out into the nothingness. But it makes sense, actually, that it would wrap around, because that seems to fit the most with the theming of the game of you're out in this void and it's presented in a way that I actually really like. It's designed to be a game that you can learn without any tutorial words, that will just present itself and you can learn by observing. So if it just went out into void forever, you wouldn't really be able to learn from that because you would never really be sure that you hadn't found everything. Now let's see if this gives us a nice platform to build from, and we'll see how far out it goes. And this should give us some opportunity to build in this direction. This one is not especially useful in the overworld, but it gives us a place to continue building. And now we'll actually have another exploding one that we can use to make this a little bit more thick and robust. And then we can just tunnel right through it there like that. And we have another ice one coming. And so I'm going to dig out and down over this way. And I'm going to place that here. And that will let me put this jump pad right here. And the reason I'm doing that is just so that I can get in to this area. I don't actually have any reason for getting into this area. I just kind of felt like doing it. And so now we have a route down this way that we can keep exploring and see if we can find anything. So more and more as I play this game, and especially as I've started reading this analysis on this site, which I will make sure that I link in the description because it's a very interesting site, the more I realize just, what an interesting game this is, and I feel kind of vindicated in that, I'd always said that this game has a lot of mystery and a lot of stuff, and that there was more to it than I was really aware of, but because that was all stuff that I didn't know about, I wasn't entirely sure that there would be as much as I hoped in this game. And so far, it has proven to be an incredibly rewarding game that has shown me a whole bunch of stuff and has just been discovery after discovery. And so I hope that you will continue to join me as I continue to discover things. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.